Last fall in cross country, I got sixth at state. I was aiming to win. I thought I had an outside chance, but I came up short, ended up sixth place and a time of 15:59, 20 seconds away from the winner. So this year, in 2024 track season, I'm going to be attempting to win state in the 3,200 meters as a middle schooler. I'm currently seeded number 1 in the 3,200 with a time of 9:36 at my section meet, though I have run a PR of 9:22. I was just running tactical at the section meet, so I'm excited for it. Might be a slower race at state, seeing that it's going to be about 18, 20 mile an hour winds. As well as the 3,200, I'm also entered in the 1,600, which my PR is 4:35. I know I can go a decent bit faster, but yeah, it should be fun. The 3,200 is on Thursday, and the 1,600 is on Friday, so let's see what I can do. So we arrived in the Twin Cities 2 days before, and we hit the track the day before, just for a little pre-meet, did a few 200s, and here we are at the race. So the conditions for the race were, the temperature was pretty good. It was mid-60s, but the wind was really bad. It was like 18, 20 mile an hour winds. The backstretch and the second curve of each lap were really, really slow. So drafting would be an important factor in this race. So if you notice, it's a pretty tactical race, I would say, the first mile. So the gun is about to go off here. There we go, stepping up to the starting line. And here we go. So I cut in pretty quick. I'm on the inner waterfall there, and I try to just get in a good position. And in this race, I end up running actually a lot in lane 1.5, which was not good. So as you can see here, coming through the first 100 in about 16 seconds, I'm the small guy in blue right there with the number 1 sticker. So I'm just tucking in here to third or so. So it's pretty windy, so I'm just trying to tuck in, but I don't want it to be too slow of a race because going into it, I didn't have the best kick, so obviously you don't want it to be too slow and leave too many people in the race. So yeah, I mean, just coming through the first 200, I'm pretty sure it's around 33, 34. It's pretty slow. That wind, as you can see on that curve, it's really, really, really windy. And yeah, I'm just going to fast forward kind of part of this race here because it's pretty long. So we came to the first lap around 111 mid. The leader might have been 111 low, but yeah, it's pretty slow and tactical. And yeah, I'm just making sure to tuck in, and as you can see, I just let that guy pass because I'm just trying to draft because this backstretch is really windy. So my plan going into the race was to see how windy it was and see how I felt, but I was going to make a move at some point from laps 3 to 5, like 1,200 to 2K, I was going to make a move to just break everybody. So yeah, just speeding up this part again, and we come through the 800 is, again, really slow. We came through 225, I came through 225, and the second lap was about a 115, 114. So now it's like really slow, and we're starting to pick it back up a little bit because this is getting too slow for people, and they're like, I can take the lead. So I end up taking the lead. And I think I was actually the one maybe to push the pace a little bit, and there it goes. So Owen is the guy leading the race right now, and he decided to kind of speed up the pace, and there he goes. And obviously I was just fine with it if he was going to lead the race, and I was going to be able to draft off of him, so I was just fine with that. But one of the things that I had to keep in mind is these guys have a better kick than me, at least I thought going into the race. So I was like, okay, I got to gap them at some point, but right now, hopefully, whoever's leading the race is just going to waste their energy into the wind. So yeah, we're coming up on 1,200 meters here, and it's pretty slow, but we picked it up again, so we come through the 1,200, and I come through in 3:38, so the last lap was a 1:12 mid, so it's still pretty slow for me. I'm still pretty comfortable at this pace, but the wind is now starting to be like, this is harder than I thought it was going to be at this pace. And yeah, so Owen is who's leading the race, and he's just continuing to speed it up right now. And as you can see, now there's a pack of 4 breaking away, which is, and as you can see, I'm in lane 1.5, kind of being a little dumb, I guess. But I should have tucked in, and well, one curve isn't a big deal. It adds up over the whole race when you're in lane 1.5, say, for, let's say I'm in lane 1.5 for 8 curves, that's going to add up. That can be 5 seconds, which at the end of the race is going to be a big difference. So we just approached about 1,400 meters, and from 1,400 to 1,600 meters, I moved my way up to the front. And that last lap, now we come through the 1,600 in 450 is what I come through, and the last lap is a 111 mid. So we're picking it up now, and now I'm like, okay, now I'm making my move. Now what I didn't, I guess, think about enough is that the wind on this backstretch, and I've said it before, but it was just awful. So it's like I had to break him soon, otherwise he's going to get a pretty big benefit from drafting off me. So I was just like, okay, this is time to go. We're over halfway. I got to get this thing out of their kick. And now you can see it's pretty strung out. There's me and the other guy in front, and then there's 2 guys who are kind of, I guess you could say, the chase pack. So yeah, so now we're coming up on 2K. I split a time of 5:59 at 2K, and our fifth lap was a 109.4. So it obviously picked up a lot. And now it's me and Owen, who's in second, and then Eddie is in third. And he's kind of holding the gap between us two, and it's not really gaining much, which I did not know at the time. I thought it was just us two in the race, and I look back, and right there you can see I look back, and I don't see anybody, I guess, because, I mean, when you look back in a race, it's really fast, and you don't really see anyone unless someone's right there. So right here, I decided to let him take the lead again because the wind is, like I've said many times, it's pretty bad. And I'm just drafting right now, just saving up energy for the end, which I probably shouldn't have done because I don't have the best kick. But here we go. So I'm now like, okay, I'm going to make a pass now as we approach the next lap because the wind's at your back on the home stretch. So I was like, once we get to the home stretch, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to pass him. So if you watch right here, I pass him. And this is where I kind of break Owen. Owen kind of falls back. And then Eddie, though, kind of comes up to the front pack. Or not the front pack, it's just me and him. So Eddie is closing the gap on Owen. There, Eddie takes over Owen. And now we come through 2,400. The last lap for me was a 113.8, which had slowed down a lot when I was with Owen, but I'm a lot more fresh now that I had a little slower lap, and now I'm just cranking till the end. So I'm pretty sure we have 700 to go now. So I'm working pretty hard, and there is Eddie in second. Now he gains on me, and now he's right there. And I don't really know why I'm in kind of outer lane one, but I cut back in here, and now Eddie I kind of let him pass me because during the race, now this isn't an excuse, but I actually thought we had another lap to go. So right here, I was like, okay, we got a K to go, and I was like, wait, do I have a K or do I have 600? So I let him pass, kind of thinking we had a K to go, but it ended up only being 600. So I match his move, and I'm just following right behind him, but this ended up being the bell lap. So the wind's at our back now, and now I'm going pretty fast, but I'm still thinking, okay, we got 900 to go now. But the weird thing was we came up to the bell, and I heard the bell, and I was like, oh my goodness, we got 400 to go. So, you know, we end up coming through the 2,800. My seventh lap was a 111.9, so again, not too fast, but Eddie's lap was a 110.2, and we approached the bell lap here, and yeah, Eddie has me gapped by a few meters, but then I close the gap here, and generally I don't have a good kick, so I'm just like, okay, hopefully I'm just fresher than him, and I can outkick him. But yeah, we come up on the backstretch here. Now this is where I go for a pass, but I kind of am indecisive. So you can see I'm kind of swinging wide. I'm going for the pass, and it's like I said, backstretch is windy and the curve is windy. So I'm just like, okay, I got to go for it, and I pass him. But then what happens is like, okay, the wind is bad on this curve, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let Eddie pass me again, which was not smart, and he's gonna take the wind for this 80 meters, and then I'm gonna go the last 100. So I'm just matching his move here. And as you can see, I try to pass on the inside. So he goes into lane 2 a little bit. And then I try to go in the inside, but then he kind of cuts me off. So now we got 100 meters to go, and we're going as hard as we can. I'm out in lane 2, and all I hear is the crowd. Everything's deaf. The only thing I can hear is the crowd. And I'm just trying to get as close as I can. And I'm just a step behind. I'm gaining on him, though. And it's going to be a lean at the line, and I miss winning by 0.05 of a second. 931.95 for Eddie Snyder, and for me, I got 932.00. It was a close finish. A lot of lessons learned from this race. But yeah, it was fun, and now we got the 1,600 coming up. So yeah, recovering from the 3,200 was pretty tough. I woke up on the day of the 1,600, and I was pretty sore, and as you can see here, the gun goes off. And I was at a pretty good lane draw. I got lane 2, and I was just hugging the inside the first 100. It was really compact and, like, really a lot of people. So it was kind of a lot of tripping that first, I would say, 400 meters. So it was kind of just, I wish there was almost a prelim in the mile because there's so many people and it's so compact. And you can see I'm about 3rd from last, 4th from last, the short guy in blue. So I'm just moving my way up right now, and then we come through the first 200 again, pretty slow, probably around 33 to 34. And yeah, it's a pretty slow race, the first lap, and nobody's really wanting to take the lead too much. As you can see, Owen from the 3,200, he's a much better miler than I am, and there's Eddie, who won the 3,200, obviously, and beat me. So I'm there, and I'm kind of just, there's kind of a back pack, and there's kind of a front pack, and then I'm kind of in the middle of those two packs. So we're coming up on the first lap, and it's pretty slow, for me at least. And I come through 108.1, which is, a time that I usually go out in the 3,200 in. So part of that's because it's a slow race, and part of that's because I'm sore. The conditions were, again, pretty good. It was 75, dry, and it was a little windy, probably 9 to 10 miles an hour, but not bad. And now I'm still, I think, in the middle of the pack, kind of at the end of the middle pack, and the front pack is now asserting its kind of dominance over everybody. It's moving away, and now, there's that front pack, and then everybody's pretty strung out, as you can see, because now the pace is definitely quickened. And I'm just trying to move my way up, as you can see. It's kind of a messy race on my part. It was pretty, I was in lane 2 for quite a few curves, which looking back on, it's like, I can run faster. But, the mile's a pretty tough event to kind of master, like when you pass, when you stay on the inside. And it's hard because it's a pretty short race to just only pass on the straights because there's only so many of them. So, yeah, now we're coming up on 800. And at this point, I'm feeling okay, but, I remember how hard the mile was. And we come up on 800, and I'm in 12th place. So at the lap, I was in 15th coming to the 400, and now I'm in 12th. So I've moved my way up a little bit. Top 9 was my goal going into the race because that's who got medals. And I was just like, I don't even know what time I'm going to run because I'm quite sore. I thought if I was fresh, I could run about 4:24. But I know going into it, I was, sore, not feeling great. And, yeah, so now I feel like I was getting almost past at this point in the race, and this was kind of where I had to decide, like, do I go or am I just going to give up? So now you can see I'm getting gapped almost by those guys, and now going in, we're coming at 1K now, so we're getting kind of towards the end of the race, and I'm moving my way back up because there's a little gap forming, and I know, like, this is it. Like, at this point in the race, I was like, oh, I'm not going to medal. There's no way. But I didn't give up quite yet, and I was just kind of holding that gap between me, and Eddie is right there, actually, who beat me in the 3,200. So, it's quite not a fast pace for me. We're coming through the 1,200, and I actually got passed on that lap. I got passed to 13th place out of 19 runners, and we come through 3:24 through the 1,200. The third lap was a 1:09.4, so, like, really, really slow. Was not good. But now with the bell lap, this is where I count the runners in front of me. Okay, I was like, how many runners do I need to pass? And I counted them, and as you can see, I make a move here on the curve. I passed about 3 to 4 runners. It might be hard to see, but on that curve, I passed about 3 to 4 runners, and now I'm going hard. Now I'm going to the arms, and we got 300 to go, and this is like, okay, I got to get top 9. I got to get top 9. That was the points for my team as well, top 9 score. So I was like, okay, got to go, and now we're coming up 200 to go, and I can see the guys. They're coming closer to me. I'm not getting, kicked on by anybody because I'm passing people. So it's really motivating, I guess, to, see that I'm passing people. Now we're entering the home stretch, and I believe I'm in 8th place right now. So there's a few guys right behind me, and they're coming quick. And I actually passed Eddie from the night before, which was good. But now I'm going as hard as I can, going to the arms. And it's going to be a blanket finish. There's 4 guys in that backpack. One of them is not going to medal. The top 3 out of that little pack are going to medal. And I was 3rd in that little pack, and I medaled, getting 9th place and a time of 4:28.98. So it was a decent time considering that I had the 3,200. But I was proud of my last lap, which was 104.6. That was the 3rd fastest last lap in the mile. And in the 2 mile, I actually closed in a 106, which was the 2nd fastest last lap. So I was pretty proud of my performance. And I will be back this cross-country season, hoping to win state and cross-country as a freshman. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.